Hello everybody, my name is Dratnos. Quick video today as we have learned when Early Access, Launch, and Season 1 begin for The War Within. So Early Access is August 22nd, Launch is August 26th, Season 1 begins on September 10th, and we know that they were at least planning, as of like a month ago, to do a Heroic before Mythic for Raid. So I assume that Season 1 beginning on September 10th means that the Heroic raid is available on September 10th, and Mythic then would be available on the 17th or 18th or whatever. Yeah, 17th would be the Tuesday, 18th for EU. That would be my guess from this, but maybe they mean it the other way around. Maybe that would mean September 3rd for Heroic, and then Season 1 with Mythic really begins on the 10th. That seems less likely to me. So my suspicion is September 10th Heroic, September 17th Mythic, and the Race World first for anybody who is looking at that. Let's look at some of the other implications of these dates, though. First of all, this caught some people by surprise due to, as they mentioned in this Wowhead post, Mop Remix is ending on August 19th, which means it's going to be tough for... it means that the pre-patch has to be during Mop Remix as well, which is something that a lot of people were like, I don't think they're going to do that. Well, they are. They definitely are. So pre-patch and Mop Remix are going to coincide. Now, the question is, when might pre-patch be? And it's actually not a lot of days that it can be, in my opinion, because the Great Push is running all the way through July. Now, I know there's already some angry typing about letting esports or whatever impact the game, but it would be very strange for them to deploy a pre-patch in the middle of a competitive esports season. Like, that's the kind of thing that I don't think they would do, and they don't, ever have esports played on a different patch than the live patch as well. That's not something they do either. Now, this could be a first for either of those things, but if it's not, I think that restricts pre-patch to probably July 23rd, possibly July 30th. And that actually makes sense. That's a reasonable amount of time before the 22nd, which is the early access window. So I think that we can pretty reliably guess on a pre-patch on one of these two dates. And then, early access begins on the 22nd. The actual launch is the 26th. Now, what they're almost certainly going to do, and I think they basically confirmed this, is that pretty much nothing is going to be open from the 22nd to the 27th. None of the things that, you care about that are on a weekly reset, anything like that, will be open until the 27th. And then, remember, Season 1 doesn't start until the 10th. So, if you want to level up a bunch of characters and play a bunch of characters, especially at the start of the expansion... I guess this is December 10th. I should be looking over here at September. Wow, December and September have the same days on the same dates. Like the Tuesday the 3rd for both. That's nice. We could just keep looking at the December part and pretend that this is September over here. Anyways, if you have this weekend off, you want to take a weekend off to just play the new expansion, this does, the early access will be nice for that, especially if you value having multiple characters leveled up and playing with them. But honestly, for me, for other players in high-end guilds, anything like that, if you're looking for the best time to take off work, for instance, I don't think it is 22nd, 23rd if you're looking at obviously if you want to just catch the hype of the new expansion, level up, play through all the new zones, see the gorgeous new locations that the art team has chefed up for us this time, then that time does make sense. But I think that probably if you are looking at, if you're trying to min-max your character, you probably want to take off, something in this week, right? The 10th, 11th, 12th week, or something in the following week, the 17th, 18th, 19th week, as that's when the season's actually starting. That's when your time is going to be more valuable, because almost certainly what's going to happen is whether or not you bought the early access, unless you're trying to juggle a whole lot of characters, you're going to be pretty quickly, in one of these either in the first or the second week of the, before Season 1 time, you're going to be kind of done with stuff to do. And you're going to be in a spot where the stuff for you to do is something on the level of the Cobalt Assembly farm, the Rathian farm, the Super Rares farm. Now, one argument I've heard for buying early access is, What if there's something broken that you can abuse that they fix? And that is possible. That sort of thing is a lot less likely than it is in things like mop remix or even in things like expansion patches, rather than in the, start of an expansion. That's not to say it's not likely that there will be bugs. It's just not likely that they're going to let you abuse something for very long. And if they do, it's not likely that they're going to let you keep whatever you got out of that. It's not impossible, depending on the thing. Like, it has happened. There's been things that have been, exploit early, exploit often has been a motto for a long time, because it's often effective. But especially start of expansion, all eyes on it, all hands on deck. I don't think you need to assign too high of a probability to that being a benefit of playing in the 22nd to 26th range. And then, Season 1, September 10th. Race to World First probably starting on September 17th. Means Race to World First probably ending on somewhere around September 27th-ish. And us settling into a nice, season from there. And then probably the next raid will be some like February or something. I don't know. That would be my guess. So pretty hype, pretty cool, quick time scale. There's also a Welcome to Azeroth bundle. Now, this bundle I think is a little bit misleading on what you're actually getting out of this. So this is a new bundle that's in the store for $25. It has 60 days game time, so right off the face of it, 60 days game time for $25. It's actually not a bad deal. That's like the same. I think that's the same deal that you get if you buy 6 months in advance. So potentially you might be interested in this just for that. However, if you're looking at the expansion or the level 60 character as reasons to buy this bundle, you can get those from pre-purchasing even the base edition of War Within in here. You get a level 70 boost and you get Dragonflight with your pre-order. So if you just want those things, you get a better version of this boost and you get the same expansion off of pre-ordering the expansion. So the Welcome to Azeroth bundle seems to me to be aimed at sort of two sets of people, because it's a bundle you can only buy until 2 months before the expansion. So one way is Blizzard is kind of selling some discounted game time, only very slightly discounted, for the game time that is the worst, which is the 2 months right before the expansion. So if you want that game time, then maybe this is a bundle that will be interesting to you. I guess it's a level 60 boost at a fairly cheap rate, but mostly this seems aimed at people who haven't played WoW before, which makes sense because it is titled the Welcome to Azeroth bundle. And for those players, hey, you want to experience the Dragonflight expansion, not necessarily experience the leveling process, which if you're a new player, the 1 to 60, skipping the 1 to 60 process has some upsides and some downsides. So I'm not sure whether I'd recommend this to somebody who'd never played WoW before but was thinking about playing WoW. I would think about it and I would make a decision based off of whether I thought that specific person would be likely to enjoy the 1 to 60 process, would be likely to be turned off by the kind of slow and awkwardness of the 1 to 60 process sometimes, the disjointed storytelling that you end up running into as you hit 60 and then leave the story in the middle of it, and the way your character kind of doesn't, like, the talent trees are good for leveling, but your class often is missing some stuff that actually makes it fun to play until like level 40 or something like that. So I'd weigh that against whether they're gonna log in on a 60 boost and be like, what is all this? Be overwhelmed. And which of those two things is more likely would influence whether I'd recommend, using a 60 boost on their first character or saving it for a future character. But yeah, that does seem like the kind of target for this is if somebody's like, ooh, War Within looks fun. All my friends look like they're going to play it. I've never played WoW. Let me jump in now. And in which case, this is not bad, but depending on that person, especially if you're somebody who you're advising to not use the level 60 boost and to start from level 1, they might be just fine as well getting their, just getting the benefits of pre-ordering War Within and getting the Dragonflight expansion, a level 70 boost for once they've leveled once and they've, want to try a new character, that kind of thing. It's not like mutually exclusive. Obviously, you could buy both of these things, but that is at least something worth thinking about if you're either potentially a new player, advising a new player, is that this bundle's value is heavily concentrated in the 60 days game time. If you're planning to purchase the War Within, because you're going to get Dragonflight with that, and the level 60 character boost may or may not be something you actually want to take advantage of if you're a new player. It might grief your experience rather than helping it, depending on what sort of player you are. Anyways, those are just some thoughts on that announcement and this announcement as well. Let me know what you think about the timing and the implications of it down below. Let me know if you have predictions for, pre-patch date. I think it is like 100% to be either the 23rd or the 30th. Probably more likely I don't know between the two actually, which is more likely, but I feel like that is very likely. But let me know what you think in the comments below. Of course, I am often wrong about these sorts of things. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.